Hello, hello, hi, folks. Welcome. Happy Monday. In hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, and I welcome you to this live. Got an interesting one for you today, and I'm testing out in different times of the day. Let me know what time of the day is best. Most of you guys are able to watch lives. I'm getting different feedback from all kinds of people, so I'm kind of trying to collect all those, put them together, and see like what really works, what doesn't work. Like PK is in the house right here, right now. What's going on? Welcome. I got a great live for you guys today. I was reading today. I know that's a first, right? Money. I was reading today. You know, if you're joining me live, let me know you're here. You gotta type a comment or something because I don't always see who's here, who's not here. Essie's here. What? Essie, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. Early is best. SC John, welcome. You will like this live. So, today I was reading, and when I was reading, I came across this thought, right? And I don't know, maybe you can relate with this as well. If you meet somebody who's successful, it doesn't matter what area of life, okay? It doesn't matter what business, what field, what not, right? I know, shocker. When you meet a successful individual, a person, or you read about them, or you listen to their interviews, what have you, right? It's always like they talk about other people in a whole different way than most people do. Most people, when it comes to other people, what do? What do we do most of the time? Most of the time, we are blaming others and we're complaining about other people, right? How they slowed us down, how they held us back, how they did us wrong. Jacqueline, how are you? Welcome. Good to see you. That's what most people do when they talk about other people. Oh man, this guy, my wife, my husband, my best friend, oh, my girlfriend, my significant other, man, they just, they just hold me back. And if they couldn't, it just kind of, we complain and we blame them, right? Oh man, if it weren't for my parents, I'd be so much more successful. Now, if it weren't for my wife, I'd be like this. If it weren't for my husband, I'd be like, right? We complain and blame them all the time. And then what do? And in return, we talk good stuff about ourselves, right? We praise ourselves. We're like, oh man, if it weren't for this, I would be amazing. If it weren't for that, I'd be amazing. Right? Your neighbor. If it weren't, I have so much skills, but this held me back. I can do this, but this person held me back all my life, right? So we praise ourselves all the time. We like put ourselves up. And then when it comes to other people, we're just pointing the finger and blaming them and complaining about everybody because everybody's fault. It's everybody else's fault, not ours, right? Now let's flip the channel. Let's flip the channel. Let's look at some of these successful boys and girls out there, right? The successful, the ones that you read about, the ones that you sit there watch movies about, the ones that you subscribe to their podcasts, the ones that you admire and you follow. Those guys, all those guys have always talked about what? Oh, I didn't do it alone. there's a whole team behind me. I didn't do it alone. I have all these wonderful crew. I couldn't do this all by myself. I got all these amazing people behind the scenes. See, I couldn't do any of this by myself. I give all the glory to God, and I give all the glory, all the hard work to these people. Isn't that how they talk? It's not about me. It's all about these people. Look, look, it's not me. I have a team behind me. I can't reach that point in life without these guys, without my team, without my right arm, or right? So the successful, the way they talk about other people, it's amazing. They praise others all the time. Isn't that funny? You don't see a lot of successful people walking around complaining and blaming and nagging all day long about somebody who did them wrong. You know what? They cut cords and they're done with it. If they work for them, they're out of here. If they're in their life, they're out of here. They stop talking to them and they move on. But isn't that interesting that most successful people, when they're talking about other people, they're always praising them. They're bragging about their team. They're bragging about everybody around them. Oh my goodness, me? Pfft, forget about me. It's about my wife. My wife is the one that has got me to this point. Me, nothing. It's about my husband. If it weren't for my husband, I wouldn't ever be here. So we can go around and start blaming and complaining everybody, and then praising ourselves, and see how that works out. Yeah, you know, that's another thing. Families, friends, brothers and sisters, and girlfriends and wives and husbands and significant others and business partners and co-workers, everybody blames everybody and us and them, and you know, it's a ping pong match, right? So here's the thought, you know, the non-successful, they blame others while praising themselves, but the successful people praise others and blame themselves. You know what that means? That means when things go wrong, when things don't go their way, when that business adventure fails, when everything falls apart, when she walks out the door, when they lay you off, when your health goes down the drain, when your friends do this, when that happens, they take responsibility. They don't come out blasting and blaming everybody. They say, you know what? I must have gone wrong somewhere. Let me take a look. Let me see where I went wrong. Let me see where I can fix this. Let me see where I can improve. Let me see what I did or what I said or how I did it or how I said it. They don't ever come out with guns blazing and everybody else. You know, they take responsibility. It's amazing though, the other side, it's like everybody else is to blame. I'm not responsible. I'm not responsible for anything. For that breakup, it wasn't me at all. It was all her. I had nothing to do with it. That partnership that went sour was all the other person, not me. The whole business thing that didn't work wasn't me, because I worked, but the business didn't work. See, you can blame others and not even take responsibility and praise yourself, or you could praise others and hold yourself accountable. Have yourself be responsible for everything. Even I have come to learn, and this is a work in progress for me, but I've come to learn that even when I really feel like I wasn't at fault, I somehow probably was. I gotta take some kind of a responsibility for that, right? I'm working on that. That's a work in progress. The tough times, the tough ones that I'm having a tough time accepting that kind of a responsibility for. Those are the ones that I'm working on. Even those, I want to take full responsibility, full, not just a little bit, because that way it's just all me, you know, and I can work with that. I don't have to go around blaming and complaining, right? I don't know about 50-50. I'll just take it all. If you go with the whole fact that I'm going to take it all, and the other person goes with the same principle, then there's no 50-50. You're always 100% responsible on both sides. And that's a better formula, you know, than 50 and 60 and 32%, and you know what I mean? So might as well say, hey, it's all me. Okay, I got it. You know, maybe I could have said it in a different way. I could, what have you. But that way, you're working on building that responsibility muscle, I guess, right? So that way, it's all you. Like, I've done a live on this before, I think maybe a couple of years ago, maybe T-Money was on that live. The one thing you gotta do, if you really wanna go this path of entrepreneurship, okay, or path of success, like I'm not talking about success where you're doing well, okay? I'm talking about like going to the top, right? If you really wanna go that route, you really gotta practice, you ready for this? You gotta retire your index finger. You know, it's like we are born first with our index finger coming out, which means starting to blame everybody. We come out blaming everybody. If you want to go to that point, you really got to retire that index finger. That index finger cannot be there. You can't go around pointing your finger at everybody. You know, it's just, nobody's gonna care. Nobody will pay attention to you. Not for long. Nobody really cares. At the end of the day, you're gonna get tired because, I mean, nothing's gonna get done. It's just gonna get worse, right? So that index finger, if anything, if you're gonna point it, you better point it in the mirror so that it holds you responsible. And that's a principle that it's sometimes it's really tough to put into practice, right? Sometimes when the situation or the person is just, you know, you're all right. You know the other person is at fault. But that's when you gotta really practice that, right? That's when it gets really tough. That's when it gets really tough. Yeah, I'm going to go back and read all the responses, obviously, and respond back to you. But yeah, so hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value from this. Let's see, drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. I mentioned this yesterday. It took me, I did it, I think it was about 20, I think yesterday was about 29 minutes, 28-minute live. It was a longer one. But the night before, it was about 18 minutes or 20 minutes. It literally took me 2 hours to load the video with caption in all platforms. So if I don't get back to the comments, I will, I will. Working on a couple of skits for you tonight as well. So I appreciate you guys. Yes, it's great to see you early. I will be on early. I'm moving my time back, as you can see, kind of starting to shift. So hopefully you guys get some love, some inspiration, some value. Drop your thoughts, your comments, your feedback below. Let this feed grow. If you feel like this was worthy of sharing, do what you gotta do. Spread the love. Tag a couple people. I know when I shared this live, there's a couple people that popped in your head. You're like, oh. Now, I did a live on this too. You can use this as a tool or a weapon. Don't be using these lives and going and say, you gotta watch this and this is how you gotta act. That's not taking responsibility, by the way. Okay, so just saying. All right, so I am Sean Azimi with SideGigSean.com, signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.